Alright, so good day students. So here we are, another video for another lesson. So before we have our next lesson, let's have our short opening prayer. Alright, so let us pray. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Lord, we offer you everything we do today, all our works, our joys, and our sorrows. Everything will be an act of love for you. Holy Mary, Saint Joseph, Saint Joachim, and Saint Anne, and guardian angel, intercede for me so that I may be deserved to be helped and saved today and always. Virgen del Pilar, pray for us. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay. So, before we enter in our next topic, let us try to recall ourselves of what are the lessons that we discussed last time, isn't it? That the lessons that we discussed and tackled about is about polygons, no? We were able to determine, what is a polygon and what does poly means and gon means. And we were able to tell that poly means many and gon means angle, no? So therefore, a polygon is a shape, no? It is formed with straight lines that connects to each other, which is closed shape po. Okay, so when we have polygon, we have this different types, correct? We have different types of polygon, right? And we also have this, what we are telling, convex, concave, right? And the simple polygon and the complex polygon, right? So I hope that you learned a lot with that topic, all right? So with this next topic, we're going to tackle about circles, right? So as we enter in polygon, no, knowing it is a shape, no. So let us instill in our mind that we are in the part of geometry as well. So knowing that we are in geometry, let's first discuss what is a circle and what are the parts of a circle. Okay, so um in your daily life, would you mind to give me an example of a circle that you could see around in your environment or in your houses? All right. So in our daily life, we could see circles, correct? So we could see circles in bicycle, correct? Some other circles, we could see them in the flags, right? Or in some objects that you could see hang around. Or most especially, we could see circles when we are using our money, correct? And most likely those people who used to see CDs or disc, right? So aside from these things that we could see in our daily lives, we could also see this circles not just in a daily life that you can see, like for example in vehicle, the wheels, not just like that one, no, but we could also see circles, no, in terms of music. So if I'm going to ask you, would you mind to give me an example where circle is related in music? Okay, so there are some examples, and these are some musical instruments po. Okay, because in those with those musical instruments, there are figures that contains the circular figure. Correct, just like this one, we have bingo drum. Okay, this tabla. Most likely in the drums, no? Drums. Snare drum and bass drum. Okay po, bass drum po. Okay? Alright, so aside from music, are we able to relate this circle as well aside from music? Can we relate this one in sports? Yes, of course. Most likely the ball. The ball itself, it's a circle po. Alright, so but before we enter in some kind of 3D object, let's deal with the plane surface, just like this circle in the ring. Correct? Or the figures that you could see in Olympics game. Correct? Alright. So let's define already what is a circle. We are telling what is a circle since a while ago. So if we say circle, no, it can be drawn with the help of circular object. But please take note that a circle is a closed curve in a plane. Okay? Again, circle is a closed curve in a plane. So when we say closed curve, it's not a polygon, ha? Because when we say curve in Tagalog, curva. Okay? Curve. Different, the straight line is different to curve, right? So in polygon, we can say that a polygon is a polygon when it is formed with straight lines and angles po. All right? So while in circle, it is closed curve in a plane. All right? Okay. So with this circle, we also tell that circle is a closed curve consisting of all points in a plane. This is the one that I'm telling. In polygon, isn't it that I told you that a line is composed of many points, right? So, in order for you to have line, it is composed of many points. So, therefore, in circle as well. So, circle is composed of many points or all points in a plane. Okay po? Wherein this point have the same distance coming from its position to the center that it is pointing. Okay, for example, you have this circle. For example, this circle. Okay, so we are telling that although it's not perfect circle, so we are telling that this circle is composed of points, correct? So where is the center? This is the center. Okay, so we are telling that okay, these points, all of those points are equidistant. Equidistant. What is equidistant? If you say equidistant, it has the same distance, no? Coming from its own position to the other points. Okay po? So they have the same distance. If you say equidistant, equal distant. Okay po? Equidistant. Equal distant. Alright. So, if we are in a circle, we are referring to the all points that surrounds the circle because we are telling that circle is composed of points and these points are equidistant from a fixed point. What is that fixed point? That fixed point is the center because center is not moving. Okay, so center is a fixed point inside. If you say center, it's in the middle po. Okay po? Alright. So, aside from this definition and the parts, though we discussed already that it has the center. Okay, this is the first part, the center and all of the points. Now, I'm going to teach you already that in polygon, we are telling that it is composed of straight lines, correct? So what is a straight line? For example, I showed you this kind of line. Do you know what this kind of line? Alright, so this line, no? This line is what we called as line. Okay po? If you saw that kind of a line that has two arrows on both ends, this is what we called as line. Okay po? Let's draw this line, this figure in the other slide. All right. So if you saw this kind of line that has two arrows on both ends, this is what we called as line. But if you saw a point, you know what's a point, correct? Point in both ends of a line, this is what we called as line segment. Okay po? Line segment. Okay? Alright. So, what if, Sir Jai, one of the side contains either point and an arrow. Is that possible? For example, this one. Point, then an arrow. Is that possible? Oh, let's think of it that these three lines are straight now. So, what if your line composed of two arrows on both ends? This is what we call as line. Okay. So how about if the line does have point on both ends? This is what we called as what? This is what we called as line segment. Oh, but what if it contains point and an arrow, or either way could be arrow then a point? Is that possible? Okay, so this is what we called as this is what we called as ray. Okay, ray. Okay po. So we have three different types of lines. Okay, so why I'm discussing this one? Because these lines could be found in the parts of a circle. Alright, so I want you to know that when you saw a line, if you say line, it has infinite distance. That's why it has an arrow. And please take note, this arrow corresponds or represents that it has never-ending distance. Okay po? It is continuous. Okay, that's why it has arrow. So it is continuous going to the right and going to the left. So it has forever. But when we have point, it only means your line starts in there or ends in that point. Okay, so it starts and it ends there. So there is the limitation. Your line is up until here and here, just like that one. Okay, just like in this one. So your line is still will start here and up until here. Could be that one. Okay, so if you have two lines, your line will end or either starts either of the 2 points. Your line will be up until those 2 points only. There is limitation, but in the two arrows, there is forever. It is continuous. Okay, so how about this one, Sir Jai? You have shown us that there is an arrow and there is a point. So therefore, it only means that you are going to start here, then your line is continuous going to the right. Okay? So how about this one? Your line will start at here, then your line will be continuous going to the left. Okay po? Alright. So I hope that you already identify what is the differences between the three lines po. Okay? So a while ago, we were able to tell what is the parts of a circle, and we were able to know what is the first part, and that is the center. Okay, so let's go on with the second part. Okay, so this is the second part. This is what we call as diameter. So if we tell diameter, what is a diameter? So when we say diameter, that is the line that passes through the center, starting from the point of the other side of the circle, passing through the center, then ends with the other side of the circle. Isn't it that we define that if yours a circle, again we define that circle is composed of many points. So either here, 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 etc. So it composed of many points. So aside from having center, we were able to discuss this diameter. And what is diameter? Once again, a while ago I did tell that one. So diameter is the line coming from the side of a circle or the point around the circle that passes through the center. For example, let's have another diameter. If this is your point, for example, that is your point. No, if you're going to start on that point, that line will start on that part, then it passes through the center and it ends with another point. Okay po. But it should not go past it shouldn't pass through the circle. So your point is up until here only, at the side of the circle. Okay? Okay? That's why if you will notice, there is two blue points or two blue dots. So it only means that this circle is composed of a lot of blue dots, okay, or blue points. Now, we could see that this is what we call as diameter. If a line passes through the center, coming from both sides of the circle, it passes through the center. This is what we call as diameter. Okay po? And if you will notice, no, diameter is one of the example of line segment. Oh, what is a line segment? Once again, line segment is a line that composed of two points on both ends, correct? So this is the 2 points on both ends. This is the line, correct? All right. So that is one of the examples of a line segment. All right. So another example of diameter. So in a circle, we don't have just one diameter. So we could have a lot of diameter, infinite number of diameters po, no? So it could be this one, this one, this one, this one, as long as it passes through the center po. Okay? As long as, okay, so let's remove those diameters that didn't pass in center. All right, so once again, a diameter is a line that passes through the center. Okay po? So how can we name a diameter? All right, so when we have this diameter, this is what we call as diameter AB. AB. Why do we call it as AB? Because the point that you could see in here is what we have, point A. For this other point, this is what we call as point B. Okay, so when we have line segment, we are naming it as diameter AB or line segment AB. Okay po? Okay. So, how about this one? So, from this diameter, how can we name this diameter? How can we name that diameter? Yes, it is a line segment, but what is the name of the diameter? This is what we call as diameter, let's say, diameter PQ. Okay, that is diameter PQ. Okay, and we also have diameter 2. The other diameter is diameter AB. AB. Okay, AB. So you're going to ask me, Sir Jai. Sir Jai, would it be possible if you're going to name the circle as diameter QP? QP. Well, it's fine, but the formal one and the correct one, that if you will spell letters in the alphabet, what comes first, P or Q? It's P, correct? So we're going to name it accordingly to the arrangement of the alphabet. So this is what we call as diameter PQ. Okay po? This one. And this is what we call as diameter AB, not diameter BA. Though it's fine, but still, the arrangement matters po. Okay? Alright, so again, we have diameters, 2 diameters. And if we have diameter, always remember that as long as they are in one circle, they share the same distance. Because we are telling that every point that you could see around the circle has the same distance coming from this point up to the center or the fixed point, as we are telling. Okay po? Okay. So, this is the one that I will be telling you already. So, this diameter, this is not just a diameter. Because in a circle, there is a composition of the diameter. What's that composition? So, diameter, so you can see diameter MN, correct? Diameter MN. This is diameter MN, correct? This is diameter MN. It is composed of 2 lines. What is the 2 lines? That is what we call diameter MN. That is, we have the diameter MN composed of 2 lines. And what are those? These are the lines MO, and NO. Okay po? Okay? So it only states that radius OM and radius ON. Okay. So if you will notice, this is the center O, correct? This is the center O. Now from your radius, which is MO, and NO, these two radius, this is what we call as radius, coming from the side up until to the center. Okay? This is the side, coming to the center. This is what we call as radius. So this is a point towards to the center. This is what we call as radius. Another example. This is a point, another going to the center. So these 2 points, the center and the side, this is what we call as radius or R. That's why we called it as radius MO. It only states that OM because it's coming from the center, but the right naming on it is MO po. MO and NO. Okay po? So, if you will notice, we are telling that these two radius are equal. Why? Why did we say so? Because a while ago, isn't it, that we defined that each point that you could see in a circle is composed of many points, correct? So, in that points, it is equal. And they are equidistant. So, therefore, all points are equidistant to each other point. So, therefore, your radius are equal as well to the other radius. Okay po? So, we could tell that if you have two radius that are aligned, again, aligned, okay, this is what we called as diameter already. So, a diameter is composed of two radius. That's why we have this formula. So, a diameter is equal to radius 1 and radius 2. Correct? We combine the first radius and the second radius. Or we are telling that diameter is equal to 2r. Why is it 2r? Because there are two radius. Okay po? The radius 1, which is radius MO, and radius NO. Okay po? Gets? So, it is composed. But what if, Sir Jai, for example, no? What example? What if, for example, I have this kind of radius? This is, let's just say, this is J and O. This is what we call as radius JO. Radius JO. Let's say, radius JO. How about this one? This is what we call as G. Okay, this is what we call as radius GO. So, can we tell that this line is a diameter? Oh, it is not. Why? What is the definition of diameter? Diameter is a line that passes through the center. So, it is a line that passes through the center. So, therefore, there should be two radius that are aligned. So, to form one line. So, that one line passes through a center. That is what we call as diameter. But this kind, like from the G, O, then J, this is not what we call diameter. That is not a diameter. Okay? A diameter is a line that passes through a center. Okay? So, this kind of JO and GO, this is what we call as radius. We have two radius. This is the radius 1, radius 2. Okay po? They are different po. Okay? So, please always remember that twice the length of the radius is diameter po. Okay po? Alright. So, aside from this one, I want you to look at this one. We have this kind of point, the one that I am telling, which is M, and this is O. So, this is what we call as radius. You could have only one radius, one radius. Okay. But, again, when we combine those two radius aligned and it forms one straight line, that is what we call as diameter. Diameter. Okay. So, I have this example for the radius. So, in radius, if we only have one radius, this is what we call as radius. But, if you have many radius, this is what we call as radii. Okay? The plural form of radius. So, all this radius KO, and this radius LO, okay, this radius MO, and this radius NO, all of them are equal. They have shared equal distance. Okay po? And can we say that these two are this two is a form of diameter? No, because they are not aligned. If you will see, the straight line should be here, right? Or here, right? So this is somewhat not that kind of straight. Okay? Alright, so what are those once again? We have center, diameter. What else? You also have radius. Alright, so is that the only thing that we could see in a circle? No. So there are more. No, please take note before we go to the other parts. Please take note. Just like in diameter, we could have many kind of diameter. Okay. Also, if we could draw infinite number of diameter, we could also draw infinite number of radius. Okay po? So this is the next part. This is what we call as chord. Okay po? So when we say chord, it is a point on the circle, and this is another point of a circle, and it forms what? It forms a line segment, correct? Right? So it is a line segment that does not pass through the center. Okay po? That's the differences, no? They are the diameter and chord, they are both line segment, no? What is a line segment? Once again, line segment is a line that has points on both ends, correct? But what is a chord? A line segment that does not passes through the center. Okay, so if you will notice, it is a line segment, no? It has the point. A is a point of the circle, and B is also a point of a circle, another point, no? Now, if we join them together, we could create a line segment, right? But if you will notice, that line segment does not pass through the center, and this is what we call as chord. Okay po? So, can we make any chord in a circle, inside a circle? Yes po. So, we could create a lot of chords, sir. So we have this chord MN, if you will notice, chord KL. Alright, so is this a chord? No, this is what we call as diameter. Okay? But please take note a chord is part of line segment. Okay po? But please take note that when we say diameter, it does passes through a center. Though it is part of a chord, because it is 2 points that connects a line. Okay po? So, when we have 2 points on both points of a circle and we connect it, it is a chord. Though diameter is a chord, but please take note, no? If we can only say that diameter is a diameter when the line segment is passing through the center po. Okay, only that one. Though we could tell that this diameter is a chord as well. Okay, but please take note. How can we say that diameter is a diameter? If it passes through the center. Okay po? So, can we tell that this MN is a diameter? No, because it doesn't pass through the center. But this chord CD, it is a chord, right? Because there is a 2 point that connects. Okay? There is a 2 point that able to connect to each other. But this is the question. Did they pass through the center? Did they pass? Yes. Okay po? They pass through the center. So this is what we call as diameter already. So chord. Alright, so this is another question, Sir Jai. Can we tell that a chord would be only just like in a slanted position? Just like that one? Is that the one? Okay. So this is the one. This is the answer. So we could tell as well that we could see any chord, either it's slantways, slantways, vertical, or horizontal. But please remember that this diameter is the longest chord. Okay po? Longest chord. Clear? So a chord could be put in different kind of ways. It could be vertical, horizontal, diagonal, okay? But please remember that when we are talking diameter, it's a different story already. Okay po? Diameter is the longest chord and it passes through the center. Gets po? Alright. So, if we are able to tell that diameter could be drawn in infinite ways inside the circle and also the radius, so therefore chords as well could be drawn infinite times inside the circle po. Okay po? So you could have this kind of chord, this kind of chord, this kind of chord, this kind of chord. Okay? Okay po? Are we clear? But please take note in your mind when we are telling diameter, that's a different story. Though it's part of chord, but we could tell that that chord is a diameter when it passes through the center. And it has the longest chord po. Okay? Alright, so we discussed center, diameter, radius, what else? And chord. Okay, so is that the only things that we could discuss about circles? Okay, so when we are telling circles, we also have this what we call as secant. Alright, so if you will notice, there is a line that I taught you a while ago. What are the three types of line? The three types of line are the line segment, and ray. Okay po? Line segment, and ray. Okay, so what is a line? A line is a line that composed of two arrows on both ends. Okay po? Now, what is a line segment? Line segment is a line that has 2 points on both ends, knowing that it has the limitation, wherein line has the infinite distance, while ray has the starting point and it end in infinite distance. Okay po? Now if you will notice in secant, this is what we call as secant. So this is what we call as secant. If you will notice, there is a line that has arrows on both ends. Okay po? So secant, it composed of chord. If you will notice, there is a point. What is that point? Point K and point C. Okay po? So this line intersects a chord. Okay po? Or intersects a point. If you say intersects, what is intersects? Overlap. Okay po? It passes through and it overlaps a point or a line. Correct po? Alright, so if you will notice, this whole line intersects or overlap a point. And what are those points? K and C. Okay po? So this is what we call as secant. If you saw a line that overlaps a circle, okay, or passes through a circle, beyond the circle, this is what we call as secant. Okay? So can we draw an example of secant, like in an infinite ways? Of course, yes. We could draw infinite numbers of secant. How can we name a secant? This is secant KC. This is secant KX. This is the secant AD. Okay po? AD. Gets po? We can draw infinite number of secant. Now, a while ago you told us, Sir Jai, that secant composed of a chord. This is a point. and this is a point. So therefore, this is a chord. So this is a point, this is a point, this is a chord, right? So this is a point, and this is a point. It composed of chord. If you will notice, it passes through the center. So it could also contain diameter. But please take note, if we are referring to the full line, if we say line, it has two arrows on both ends. So therefore, it is a secant. Oh, there are two arrows on both ends. Arrows and arrows. Arrows and arrows. Okay po? So this is what we called as secant. Next, this is the last one. This is the last part of a circle. So we have this what we called as tangent. Okay, so when we say tangent, it is a line that intersects the circle at exactly one point on the circle, this one. Okay po? This is what we call as when you have that point, and you have this kind of secant, and there is another line that passes or that intersects that point only. This is what we call as tangent. Okay po? Or this is the point of tangency. Okay po? If you will notice, I will use different kind of highlighter. Alright, so this is, can you see it? Or no? Alright, so I'm going to use another. This is what we call as point of tangency. Isn't it that that circle composed of the different points, correct? So if this is your point, your circle, if your line touches one point only, for example, this one only, this line is the tangent, and this is the point of tangency po. Okay po? If this line intersects the circle at exactly one point. So if you're telling that this line, if this line intersects at one point, this line is what we call as tangent. Okay po? One point only ha, because if you will notice in secant, how many points does the secant touches? It touches 2 points, correct? Right? While in tangent, it only intersects at one point of the circle. Okay? And that point is the point of tangency. So this line is what we call as tangent. So this one is the secant. Okay po? So this is the tangent. Gets po? Alright, so let's recap. What are those parts of the circle? What are the parts of circle? We have the radius, diameter, chord. Right? Once again, radius. Oh, what's this radius? This is radius. MO not OM. We are just referring for the OM because from center to the outside. But the right naming is radius MO. Okay po? Radius MO. About this one, this is the diameter DE. And lastly, we have chord. That is chord. What's chord? A line that contains 2 points, no? 2 points of the circle. I'm going to ask you, is that line passes through the center? Through the circle? Does it pass through the circle? No. So it only stays with the center itself. The point stays at the center itself. The line stays at the center itself. And it is a line segment po. Okay? Okay. So how about secant? What's the secant? Once again, this is what we call as secant MX. What is secant? Secant is a line. Okay, a line that passes through 2 points of the circle. And it's composed of chord. Okay po? How about tangent? This is what we call as the tangent. So this is tangent what? Tangent dt. Okay po? This is what we call as tangent dt. And this is D. This D is the point of tangency. Okay? So, I hope that with this lesson, no, I hope that you learned a lot. And please don't forget that for the following videos, we are going to upload, and I hope that you watch that. So it would help your coming assessment, whether you what schools are you are, whether what sections are you are, and what level you are. I hope that this video helps in your assessment for the following days po. Alright, so once again, this is Sir Jai. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.